when I got there. He got in the car. He was like, will you take me to go hit a lick? I said yes. So I went, we got in the car and we rode. After we made the serve of the drugs that he was selling to whoever it was, because we were talking the whole time, he was like,
Take your time.
Okay. So once we made the serve, he was like, so what's going on? Obviously, about what was going on.
A woman sat in an interview room, sworn to tell the truth, and described the moment a man she barely knew pulled a gun and told her to drive. She said she was just venting. She said she never asked anyone to hurt him. But when the shots rang out and the body hit the ground, she was behind the wheel of the getaway car. And now she says she's the victim too. Picture this, a quiet Florida street at midnight. A man steps out of his apartment, confronted by a stranger he's never met. A gun goes off. A father of a 4-year-old girl collapses. And somewhere down the road, a green Hyundai Sonata speeds away with 2 people inside, one of them the mother of that child. That's the image that defines this case. A man dead, a daughter fatherless, and a woman who claims she was just caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Before we go deeper into what the evidence actually shows, make sure you're subscribed to Shadow Jury Archives, because we don't just cover the story, we follow the facts. Edgar Jennings III was a professional gamer, a father who loved his daughter more than anything.
Tuesday, November 19th, 2019, had been filled with joy for 35-year-old Edgar Jennings III. A professional gamer, there was one thing he loved even more than Madden football: his young daughter. On this day, they were together celebrating her 4th birthday.
This is my whole life, spending my birthday party, Daddy.
Your best birthday party in all 4 years? Yeah.
On November 19, 2019, they celebrated her 4th birthday together. Video captured the moment, a little girl laughing, thanking her daddy, saying it was the best birthday party in all 4 years. That was the last time she ever saw him alive.
Sadly, by the end of the night, that precious family moment would become the last time she would ever see her father alive.
One person dead after an apparent home invasion in Fort Walton Beach. A 911 call sent Okaloosa deputies to Culp Avenue about midnight.
Hours later, Edgar was outside his Fort Walton Beach apartment, shot in the head.
At 11:48 p.m., deputies responded to Edgar Jennings' apartment after multiple 911 callers reported a possible break-in. Moments later, additional calls came in reporting gunfire, along with a man yelling for help.
The 911 calls came in around midnight. Reports of a break-in, gunfire, a man yelling for help. Witnesses described a thin black male with dreadlocks and a red bandana running from the scene.
Witnesses described seeing a thin black male with dreadlocks and a red bandana covering his face running from the area.
Investigators had very little to go on. Carissa Parker, the mother of Edgar's 4-year-old daughter, was quickly identified as someone who could provide insight. She told detectives the relationship was toxic, marked by frequent arguments.
She described the relationship as toxic, marked by frequent arguments. She added there had always been ongoing tension between them.
She said Edgar had been disrespectful to her. She mentioned an incident months earlier when Edgar had made an unwanted advance while his girlfriend was in the bathroom.
I really want to know why I hate him. And it's because last year when they first moved into their apartment, when we came out there for Halloween, Edgar attempted to have sex with me while Stacy was in the bathtub.
There was anger. There was a restraining order she was trying to file. But here's where the story started to crack. In text messages, Carissa had said something that investigators found deeply concerning.
I did say that. I know I did.
Okay.
Did I really mean it? Absolutely not. I mean, that's why I gave you, obviously I knew all of that was in my phone. Okay. I knew it was going to come up. I knew you were going to ask me about it.
Okay.
To a woman named Marilyn, she wrote, "Time to call the goons." Asked what that meant, Carissa said she was just upset.
I'm going to hurt him or whatever. I don't really know exactly what I said. I'm sure it was something about what you said a few minutes ago, so.
No, it was time to call the goons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who's the goons?
I don't have any goons. Like I said, I was just talking. I was upset and I was angry. I was emotional.
She was angry. She was emotional. She didn't really mean it. The goons, she said, was just a figure of speech. She doesn't know. That's the refrain that follows this case. She doesn't know who the goons are. She doesn't know why she said it. She doesn't know how the shooter found Edgar's address. She doesn't know why the gunman came back so fast. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. The shooter was Jordan Phillips, a man she knew only as TG. She told investigators she went to his house to buy weed. They were supposed to hang out. But when she got there, he was acting strange, adrenaline rushing, almost high on something. She vented about Edgar, and then he pulled out a gun. "We can go handle this right now," he said. She said he made her drive.
At that moment in time, he pulled out a gun and waved it around, and he said, "Well, we can go handle this right now." And I was like, "No." I was like, "I don't really want," and he basically
He had a gun in her face.
Called the police. I probably could have done, but I had a gun in my face. I've never even seen a gun really, you know what I mean? Not in that type of manner. I mean, like, Lacey and Terrence own guns, but I've never had somebody.
She was terrified. She tried to take him to the wrong house, but he wasn't buying it. She told him which house was Edgar's. She waited in the car. She heard the shots. He came back. He had the gun in his hand. He told her to go, and she went. She says she didn't ask him to kill anyone. She says she never wanted Edgar dead.
So when he was like, "What's going on?" And I don't really know what to do. This was after I went and tried to file an injunction that Monday morning. I was just trying to find any way that I could.
But the phone records told a different story. Investigators found calls and texts between Carissa and TG that night. She had told him she was on her way to get the whip, a car. She had told him where Edgar lived. She had told him about the back door, about a potato on a barrel for a silencer, about a pillow that might quiet the gunshot. The detective laid it out in the interview room.
Go down.
I didn't tell him to kill anyone. I didn't tell anyone to kill anyone.
Okay, what did you tell him to do?
I would not have done that.
What did you tell him to do?
I just...
Be careful, because I'm telling you, we know more than you think, and I'm giving you this one chance to tell me the truth.
He told her that the problem was this: she had told TG to go over there and scare him. Maybe she thought Edgar would have weed. Maybe she thought Stacy would have powder. She didn't think Edgar would come out of the house with a knife. She didn't think TG would shoot. But she was trying to send a message. She was on her wit's end. The cops wouldn't help her, so she called the goon. He was labeled the Goon in other databases. That was his nickname, and Carissa had called him when she was at her breaking point. So ask yourself this: if you didn't want someone hurt, why were you discussing silencers? If you didn't want someone dead, why did you drive the shooter to the house? If it was all just venting, why did you say nothing when the shots rang out? The case never went to trial.
Yet beyond the legal outcomes, what makes this case especially hard to swallow is how little it appears to have taken for things to spiral out of control. What began as frustration over an alleged personal dispute suddenly escalated into
Both defendants pleaded guilty. Carissa Parker received 53 years.
Carissa Parker pled guilty to second-degree murder with a firearm. In exchange, she received 53 years in prison with 25 years mandatory.
Jordan Phillips received 40 years. The admitted shooter got less time than the woman who drove him there. Why? Because in the eyes of the court, the person who sets a crime in motion is just as culpable, if not more, than the one who pulls the trigger. She doesn't know. But the jury didn't need her to know. They needed her to have told the truth. And the truth was already in the text messages, the phone records, the surveillance footage, the controlled call, the words she said before the shots ever rang out. Time to call the goons. The public court record for this case is available through the Okaloosa County Clerk of Court. Pull the transcripts. Read the text messages. Count how many times Carissa says she doesn't know, and how many times the evidence says she did. Then answer this in the comments. If a woman drives the shooter to the house, discusses silencers, and waits in the car while the gunman kills the father of her child, is she a victim or is she a co-conspirator? If this breakdown helped you see the case differently, like this video, share it with someone following this case, and subscribe to Shadow Jury Archives with notifications on, because we'll be back inside the courtroom with the next moment that matters.